Thanks. Stay with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Law and Order segment tonight. Two very hot topics, beginning with a proposed new law in Colorado that would allow residents there to sue politicians who run sanctuary cities.
If they create the environment, then they need to own it, and they got to have skin in the game.
State Representative Dave Williams proposing a bill allowing victims of crimes from undocumented immigrants to sue elected officials if the crime takes place in a sanctuary city in Colorado. It could mean the mayors of Denver, Aurora, and Boulder could be sued for $2 million.
With us now, attorneys and Fox News analysts Ebony Williams and Kimberly Guilfoyle. So in many municipalities and in all of the judges and all that, you can't sue. They have protections if you're elected to an office or you're a judge, because then they'd be sued every hour on the hour, correct?
Yeah, you have some form of sovereign immunity in terms of...
Sovereign immunity?
Yes.
I wish I had that.
Well, in some ways you do. So here's the deal. This is something that I think is well-intentioned, right?
Right.
That they want to put forward protections because victims of violent crimes like this, when you have criminal recidivists re-enter this country over and over again, somebody should be held accountable, and the Kate Steinle case is an exact example of that. So the movement here in Colorado, which, by the way, is not likely to succeed because it will not get through the legislature.
Yeah, it's a Democratic legislature.
It's 6 Democrats and 3 Republicans. It likely will not be able to move forward.
I want to point out, Ebony, that in San Francisco County, the judge threw it out. The Steinle family tried to sue the county officials. It got thrown out, but the judge said you can sue the federal government.
That's right.
Okay, you can do that, but you couldn't do the county. Why?
Yeah, they're still trying to offer these protections that Kimberly's talking about at the local level, and that makes sense to me. What I think these new laws, these proposed laws in Denver and elsewhere are going to do is create a duty. This is all about duty and breach.
Right.
If they could use this law to create a duty that says if you knew or should have known that there's a violent propensity here with these people, that they've come in and out, as she said, you know, then you do have a responsibility. And if you want to use the argument that, look, hey, it's not our job to enforce the federal immigration laws, that's fine, but then you've got to be accountable. You can't have it both ways.
Yes.
But they can have it both ways, because as
Right now
Ms. Guilfoyle pointed out, it's not going to pass.
Right.
So they're still going to do it, but they're going to get hammered on
But other states are doing it as well. Maine,
Right.
Ohio, Texas, and Alaska.
Now,
The constituents can speak too.
In California, in Whittier, which is a suburb of Los Angeles, 2 police officers answered a call for a traffic accident. One of them wound up shot to death, the other wounded. They wounded the suspect, who then came into custody. And the police chief of Whittier is just beside himself, rolling.
So sad.
It's really hard for me to hold back. My tears, because all of us have been grieving since 10 o'clock this morning, and I didn't think I had any tears left. But we're going to get through it. This makes us stronger. But everybody needs to know what these officers are dealing with out there on a daily basis.
Now, here's some inside baseball this morning in our conference call for the fact that we had a lively argument because the authorities in Los Angeles County wouldn't release anything about the alleged murderer, not even his name. Very unusual. What does that tell me? Told me that he might be an illegal alien, okay? So we tried all day and all day and all day. We put pressure on him. They finally, late today, released his picture and his name. Turns out he's not an illegal alien, Ebony, all right? But he is a gang member who was led out of the California prison because of overcrowding or some crazy thing, right?
It's so nonsensical. Yes, Bill. There's a Supreme Court ruling in 2011 that says California prisons were so crowded it amounted to cruel and unusual punishment. So that's what we're seeing here. Violating the 8th Amendment, yes. But this is a man who has multiple violent convictions.
Time after time. They weren't violent, but they were car theft.
They were violent. I think they were violent.
I disagree. One of them is a robbery and grand theft auto. These are serious and violent felonies.
Remember President Obama. These are all nonviolent crimes unless you have a gun and you shoot somebody.
Right.
Okay? That's how the system is working. So they let this guy out, all right? And just a few days after they let him out, he shoots the cops to death. That's why they weren't releasing the info.
He also says 46-year-old cousin stole the car, gets in a crash. Cops, being good, went to go render assistance. He shot both of them. One survived. 1 deceased. I mean, this is a guy, you understand, see the prison, those are prison markings and gang
Sure,
tattoos on his
Okay,
face.
yeah.
This is someone that was held at Pelican Bay State Prison. It is one of the most serious, notorious prisons in the United States of America.
This is a bad
Maximum
hombre.
security
Right.
for violent offenders.
Also, multiple probation violations, which
Sure.
I don't think we're taking seriously, and I think
And they
that's why
didn't
we've
even put
got
him
this
back on notice.
fatality.
But you know
That's what
why?
I'm
So
saying.
in California, it's basically we have too many bad people
Right.
here.
We don't know
So
what
if
to
you're a
do.
bad people and you're not that bad, you can do whatever you
Well,
want
that's
and no
right.
2 cops.
He should have been
that
with
bad.
a parole officer, and he was only supervised under this AB 109.
He should have been at
by a
Pelican.
local
They never shoot him
probation
out.
officer.
They never
After the
should have
first
let him.
violation, he's back in for
Right.
4 years.
All right, ladies, thanks very much.